This is Barbara and Sean's backyard, and we're going to be doing an estimate for a cleanup for front and backyard. So starting with this far end right here, this area right here is pretty good. Mostly we're concerned with weeds. We're going to pull the big ones out and then spray the rest. And we're going to give them an option for pre-emergent weed control, stuff like this. Jasmine right here, so very simple, just kind of cut it back from the patio, and then just any stragglers that are poking out through the top, cut them back. Anything going up on the house, cut that back. Just light shaping for this rosemary. The lantanas, they're going to get trimmed back quite a bit, so probably I'd say as much as 10 inches back, so they could grow in the springtime. These vines, they're kind of getting anchored to the fence, but everything that's sticking out in the front like this, we could just whatever we can, we'll put it on the fence if there's a good branch, but the rest we'll just cut back. Like this stuff doesn't need to grow out here. The ornamental grasses, they want them to be smaller, and we're going to refresh them for the springtime, so we're going to cut them down as low as reasonably possible, so probably down all the way to here. The trees here are fine, we're not touching the trees. There are leaves that we're going to be blowing out. There are weeds. Whatever the really big ones we're going to pull out by hand, but the rest we're going to use a weed whacker to knock it down, rake it out, spray it with post and pre-emergent. Bottle brush, we're going to shape that up. There's some more shrubs that we're going to shape up. Lantana, cut this down quite a bit. Let's see, I don't think I can make it through here. I'm just going to check. Yep, this right here, use a weed whacker to knock it down. When it's under the plant, we don't want to harm the plant, so we're going to pull it out by hand. There's an access in the front right there. We're going to get back here and use a weed whacker to knock this down, this little part right here, and then spray it with weed killer. Looks like, oh, there's a pathway, nice. So definitely focus on the grass. We can't go down too low with the string trimmer because there's rocks, so we have to be super careful, but we'll go as low as possible reasonably, and the rest will spray. Another ornamental grass, lantanas, trim that. This is all weeds right here. There's some kind of clover growing in here. This is a lantana, pull the weeds away and trim it. Bottle brushes, shape them up. This Russian sage, we're just gonna trim it smaller and then pull the weeds inside it. Knock down all these weeds, rake everything out. There's weeds in here. So in there's weeds, but also there's a ground cover right here. It's a manzanita. We're gonna pull the weeds out of it by hand, and then put pre-emergent in that area. All the planter beds, we're gonna give them an option to do pre-emergent weed control. These trees are fine. There's shape up these heavenly bamboos. Okay, heavenly bamboos, shape them up. There's barberry bushes behind this structure. It is sharp, so be careful and prune it by hand. Keep an eye out for weeds. These grassy bulbs right here, leave them alone. We're not going to touch them. There are some weeds. We're going to blow out the leaves, and there are some weeds inside there. Best is just to prune it by hand. Prune back lantana. Okay, there's one branch. So from here, this branch right here, if we follow it, this branch, we need to cut it off. So we're going to go all the way down here and cut it off neatly right there, okay? That's the only branch we're cutting off on these trees. Everything else we're going to leave alone. A lot of leaves in here that need to be blown out. All of the barberry bushes are getting trimmed down so they can come back in the springtime. So these ornamental grasses, see they kind of have spent edges. We're going to prune them down as well. Focusing on weeds here. This guy is good. Kind of clean up anything that's hanging over here.